A new season of anime has started this past week, which means the previous season is concluding. And so I just thought I'd mention a few of the standouts that I enjoyed from this past season. One of the ones that I liked a lot more than I was expecting to be honest, is My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Have you watched any of the My Hero Academia stuff?
I I have watched almost no anime, and
Okay, all right.
I keep trying to find my entry point, and I don't know why I haven't figured it out yet. And I've gotten tons of different recommendations. So where do
I'll,
you? Because I know the storytelling is fantastic, and I don't know why I haven't gotten into it.
yeah. So I'll have to talk to you a bit more about some of your preferences, and then
Okay.
because Charles knows this about me, but I pride myself on my recommendations, on trying to
Oh,
to
nice. Okay,
get them
you're like an
zoned in.
anime matchmaker. Okay, cool.
So I've recommended a few to Charles that he really liked.
Very cool.
But yeah, but from this past season, My Hero Academia Vigilantes is a prequel side story of the My Hero Academia world. So in My Hero Academia, the main series follows a kid named Midoriya, and it's his hero's journey to
Okay.
becoming a hero and whatnot. So this one, completely separate prequel, and the main character, his quirk, his ability is if he has at least 3 of his limbs touching a surface, he can glide on it.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
So he calls himself the Crawler, and he glides around. And when he first starts off, he can go about as fast as a bicycle.
Okay.
He gets a lot faster as it goes on, which I kind of, one thing I do wish is that it had a bit of more of a acknowledgement of him getting faster, because he
Yeah.
literally says at the beginning, I'm about as fast as a bicycle. But then
Okay.
he's way fast. Like it shows him chasing down a motorcycle later. And so it's like that's a bit faster than a pedal bike. Just saying. Um,
I- Is he under the laws of gravity though? Like, can he glide up a wall?
yeah, he can glide up a wall. He
Okay.
actually does.
Cool.
To get to his apartment, he glides up a wall because
Cool.
the building underneath it, while not condemned, is nearly condemned, and he lives up on a shed up on the top of the building. And
Very
so
cool.
he puts his hands on either side of the walls in an alleyway between the buildings to go up.
Oh,
um
very
but
cool.
it's but he, because due to circumstances, he was not able to take the hero exam to get
Okay.
admitted to the hero school to become an official hero.
Okay.
So he has become a vigilante, working outside of the law, but he still has that deep desire to help the community. And so this is him and a couple of other people taking on that role in their neighborhood as vigilantes, and helping out where they can, and more often than not, acting as a distraction until other heroes show up.
Hmm.
Um, because they also recognize their own limitations when it comes
Yeah.
to what villains they can realistically take on and whatnot. But it has a lot of heart to it, and
Hmm.
I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it has none of the main characters, but you do see some of the side characters in a little bit younger form. I don't know actually how long beforehand this happened from the
Hmm.
original, but it's my guess is probably about 10 years prior
Yeah.
to the other series. So that was a great one, and probably my favorite from this past season, at least for now, because there's some that I haven't watched yet from this past season, simply because my wife has watched the first season, and so I'm waiting for her to watch it. Like
Yeah.
there's one called Apothecary Diaries. My wife
Hmm.
and I watched season 1, absolutely loved it. My wife, though, does not watch she doesn't want subtitles. So we got to wait
Okay.
until the dubbed version comes out,
Oh yeah,
and then we'll
gotcha.
watch it together. And that
Mm.
we're getting pretty close to where all of the dubbed episodes are out for season 2, and then we can watch Apothecary Diaries. But it's my guess is once I watch that, it will become my favorite from this past
Mm.
season, even though I didn't watch it as it was releasing. But then there were some other quirky ones that came out. The one I mentioned it briefly on the show early on, but it was called The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows. And
Great
from
title.
yeah, so a lot of anime, the title is very descriptive. It's
Yeah.
almost an elevator pitch in and of itself.
Sure.
But I'm a sucker for anime where the main character in the first episode is betrayed to some degree, and
Hmm.
it's his comeuppance and the people that betrayed him realizing their worth after the fact.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that's kind of
At
what
first,
this
I was gonna say, well, yeah, this jives with the Count of Monte Cristo that you talked about
that
earlier. Although,
oh
yeah, right,
Count of
yeah,
Monte Cristo is fantastic. But so in this one, he's a healer who is kicked out of his adventuring party. And he's not an officially licensed healer.
okay,
He is partially self-taught, partially had a master, but he didn't officially go to a healer school. So he's not licensed. And so he decides he's gonna live in the slums and be an underground healer that just takes money for his healing. He's gonna open up his own little clinic. And it helps that he doesn't realize how abnormally powerful he is as a healer.
mm,
So
okay,
that's a common theme, a common shtick in anime, where the main character is kind of clueless about their own power relative
sure,
to other people. They take
sure,
themselves to be average when they're
yeah,
exceptional. And
extraordinary,
so
yeah, right,
so a lot of the things that he does, people are like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, well, how else would you do it? Like, for instance, he has a magic skill that can scan someone's body to scan for ailments.
Mhm.
And he's like, okay, how would a healer know what to heal if they can't scan the body and detect things? But it never shows anyone else able to do that in the
Right,
anime. And
right,
so different things like that. But it's also, I'm a sucker for main characters who are genuinely good people
hmm,
as well. And this
yeah,
has that as well, where he's genuinely a good person, regardless,
morally perfect, yeah, right,
yeah,
yeah,
regardless of the betrayal and really every reason to become a villain. And you see that where a common thing that I see online these days is showing the tragic events that lead people to become villains.
mm,
And so I love to see these heroes where their life experience, if they may, well, just like that Dumbledore quote, the choices
yeah.
are what
That's what I was
make
thinking.
us.
Yeah,
Where they had every reason to be a villain and they chose to
mm,
be a hero.
good
And
stuff.
so, yeah, so it's got plenty of campy stuff in it and things like that, but I quite thoroughly enjoyed it. And then the last one on my list that I wanted to mention is um, The Beginning After the End. It's an isekai. So for those that are unfamiliar with anime terms, it's an isekai just means going from one world to another, basically.
Okay, all right,
Whether that's through teleportation, through reincarnation, through whatever means, it's leaving your world and going to another. In this
okay,
instance, um, the main character was this super powerful tyrant. Really, he was a king, but he was a tyrant who really lacked empathy and ruled with an iron fist. And he died and was reborn into this other world. So the beginning after the end. So his
Yeah.
previous life ended, and this is his new
Right.
beginning. And it's him wanting to actually be a good person. And it shows him growing, because even though he wants that, he doesn't feel that.
Right.
He lacks empathy, he lacks a lot of things, but
Yeah.
he wants to be a good person and he wants to care. And so he slowly develops those, even if it's not genuine empathy, he can emulate empathy to a certain degree, if that makes sense. And
This is a fascinating topic to me, by the way.
Yeah.
The difference between what we know and what we feel,
Yeah.
you spend a lot of time thinking about that. But that's interesting, though, to not have empathy, but to sort of recognize its virtues and want it, but also not. That's good character stuff right there. Wow.
Yeah. So there's these different depths to his character that I really, really liked, which you don't often get with isekai. Isekai tend to be a bit more formulaic than a lot of other anime stories.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always exceptions. And so with this one, having those depths to the character of him wanting to be a good person, even if he doesn't feel it. And you see that in a bunch of other stuff, especially like anything where there's AI, where they don't feel, because they're robots a lot of times, but they want to feel, and so they emulate what they think they should feel. So obviously he doesn't have that capability. He is capable of feeling, even if he's got stunted emotional growth. And so while he's growing his magical and physical abilities, he's also trying to grow as a person and develop as a person, and become he's trying to become a genuinely good person, even if he wasn't naturally a genuinely good person.
That is fertile character development ground right there. Because essentially what you're asking is, can people really change? Yeah. And that is good stuff, and personally, I believe that people can change. I believe it's really, really hard, but I do believe it's possible.
And it often takes a pretty major catalyst. In this
It
case,
does.
he died.
Yeah. Right.
So, but yeah, it often takes a pretty major catalyst for massive change to occur in a person.
Yeah.
But everyone is capable of change. What's the quote I heard from a prison warden? Like, someone told him, why is he working so hard to, and I'm paraphrasing based off of memory, but why are you working so hard to reform these prisoners? Leopards don't change their stripes. And the prison warden came back with, I don't work with leopards, I work with people.
Yeah, man, that's good.
And that's good. Everyone is capable of becoming a better person.
Yeah, totally agree.
But yeah. All right. Well, on that, I mean, that's a great high point to end
how about
on.
that? Wow.
And so just get out there and be the author of your own stories.
Yeah.